Mint Gold Pour for this afternoon. A few things briefly before I begin. Please be aware you are in a hazardous environment, so it is important that you do remain seated at all times during the gold pour. If the alarm does go off, your emergency exit is to the left through that door there, and if you follow the exact same way you can to get here and wait on one of the grass areas, somebody with a red helmet will then meet you there. Finally, if you do have a camera, you can take photographs throughout the gold pour. Just please don't let the device above your head to block the view from the people behind you. Otherwise, thank you very much. The show gets started in just 1 moment. Okay, the gold I'm going to pour for you today, well, it originally came from the stars in space. It was created when those stars exploded as supernovas. Gold was then dispersed all over the universe, and when Earth was created, a bit of gold was poured up within it. This bit of gold was also mined from the Kalgoorlie-Boulder region, and the reason why there is so much gold there is because it lies on a greenstone belt. That is a series of special volcanic and metamorphic rocks, which have been intercepted by a number of quartz veins, which are generally enriched with gold. Some of that gold has been mined and refined and is now residing in the original melt house of the Perth Mint. And this particular melt house was in operation from 1899 right up until 1990, which is just over 90 years of gold pouring that occurred in this very room. And there used to be 15 furnaces in here, all along the wall behind me. You can still see the old exhaust ports and the square objects, some of which now do have a brick inside them. And before World War II, all the furnaces in here were heated up by coke. Coke is a derivative of coal, one of the only things that can get the temperatures hot enough to melt down the gold. And behind this brick wall were all the bellows, which were generally worked by young men back in the day and assisted by the pulley systems above me, which help pump air into the coke to keep it nice and hot. Some days, the workers worked a bit harder than required and got the coke so hot the gold began to boil. Some of it evaporated up into the ceiling, and in 1990 they noticed it was a bit shiny up there, so they decided to scrape everything off the ceiling, all the soot, ash and dust they collected up there over the past 90 years. They also found $44,000 gold dust up along there with it, which is about 1 kilogram of gold. And everybody in this room should also spare a thought for the workers in here back in the old days, particularly in Perth's hot summers. If you thought the 40+ degree days in Perth were bad enough, it was even hotter in this very room, with the average summer temperature being 50 degrees Celsius. So just imagine working an 8-hour shift, those sort of conditions for months and months on end. I can't imagine it being all that pleasant. And the main reason why it was so hot is because these furnaces need to be heated up to 1,200 degrees Celsius. They must be that hot, the gold melts at 1,064 degrees. And along with the gold in the furnace is also one of these special pots. So it is what the gold lies in, and it is called a crucible. These crucibles are made out of a mixture of graphite and clay. They can withstand temperatures up to 1,600 degrees Celsius. Despite that, they do not last all that long, only 2 weeks. The reason being is because I'm turning the furnace on and off all day for the gold pours, so these crucibles are continually expanding and contracting with the heat, which causes them to crack very quickly. And Okay, that gold bar should be solid in just a couple of seconds. I'm now going to put on some special leather gloves, grab this tray. This gold bar should be completely solid in about 3, 2, 1. There you have it, everyone, a freshly made gold bar. I wouldn't be too worried if any of you did try to jump over the fence to try and take this gold bar off me, because it will light your hands on fire. Despite looking so hot, this gold bar is cooling down very quickly and has already reached 800 degrees Celsius. To speed up this cooling process, now I'm going to place this gold bar into the vat of water. It is normal tap water at room temperature, and it will cool this gold bar down completely in about 60 seconds. And hopefully for everybody here today, this is your very first gold pour. This moment, however, is not all that special for the gold bar itself. As you see, it does this 7 times a day, 7 times a week, and it's the exact same gold bar we have been using here at the Perth Mint for the past 23 years. One of the other gold pourers has calculated it's made the journey from the furnace to the mould into the vat of water over 50,000 times its life, and is probably the hardest working piece of gold in the world. Despite that, it's done incredibly well to keep its purity and its weight, because this gold bar is 99.5% gold, weighs the exact same amount as it did 23 years ago. We have had to top up the weight of this bar at once in its lifetime, just by a little bit, as of course it loses bits of gold in different ways. So first of all, as I mentioned earlier, some gold is lost into these crucibles. We get almost all the gold back when they are crushed down. A bit of gold also cracks off into the water when it's submerged in the red hot gold bar. Some seeps into the bottom of the furnace, and often bits of gold just splash out over the edges of the mould. But because gold is so heavy, it makes it very easy to recollect. At the end of the day, the area is thoroughly cleaned. You get all the dust, the dirt, and the gold. You'll be able to easily sift out the gold into this bit of water and melt it back into the gold bar the very next day, which is why almost no gold is lost. Now this gold bar should be cool enough to touch. There we go. So since it has cooled down, it has taken on its lovely golden colour. I'd be a bit more worried if you tried to jump over the fence to try and take it off me now. However, even if you were successful and did manage to get past all the highly trained security officers we do have here at the Perth Mint, you would not be able to sell this gold bar to anybody legally, because a bar like this still needs 4 special markings on it before it can be sold on the bullion exchange. Firstly, at the top, it needs to have the stamp of the gold refinery at which the gold was refined at. As the gold for this bar was refined here at the Perth Mint, it needs the black swan logo right at the very top. Underneath that, it will then have its purity. I mentioned that is 99.5% gold. That is classified as pure gold, which you may more commonly know as 24 karat gold, and that would be acceptable for sale on the exchange. However, any gold bar less than 99.5% will not be accepted. So it is an incredibly strict standard. This gold bar does only just make the cut. The 0.5% impurities in this bar is a mixture of silver, copper, nickel, and a bit of lead. Thirdly, it then needs to have its weight. Now this bar weighs 200 troy ounces. That is equal to 6.22 kilograms. At the current gold price it is valued at around about 330,000 Australian dollars. So this brick of gold could take you around the world a few times, buy yourself a pretty fancy car, or maybe even a small property. Finally, at the very bottom of the bar, then doesn't need a serial number, so it can be tracked to its location around the globe, mints, vaults, banks, or even at your very own home. Well, thank you very much everybody for listening to my gold pour today. I hope you have enjoyed it. I now must put this bar back into the furnace, as it takes 30 minutes for it to melt down, ready for the next gold pour at 2 o'clock. If you have any questions, feel free to come up and ask after I have switched on the lights and put the gold bar away. Otherwise, when I do switch on the lights, feel free to go off and enjoy the museum. Make sure you pick up the gold bar, see how much you're worth if you're made out of gold. Check out